people, welcome. Welcome back to Ron's Tech Hub, and today, as you can probably see from the title, I'm going to be looking at the Motorola G200 versus the Oppo Find X5 5G. So not the Pro, just the 5G. These two phones have a lot in common, but in my opinion, there is a clear winner and there's also a clear winner. Let me explain. So I'm going to read the specs of the Motorola G200 first, and then I'm going to read the specs of the Find X5. They are very similar, so please do pay attention. So Motorola G200, we have a Snapdragon 888 Plus. We have 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage, 6.8-inch display, one of the largest I've ever used, Full HD plus resolution, even though the screen is LCD. We have 144 Hz refresh rate, a 5000 mAh battery, a 33-watt charger, stock Android as of June 2022. The main camera goes up to 108 megapixels. So decent specs, quite impressive. Now let me read the specs for you of the Oppo Find X5. So not the Pro, just the normal X5. So on here again, we have Snapdragon 888 Plus, 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB of internal storage, 6.55-inch display roughly. We have a Full HD plus resolution again. However, this screen is an AMOLED screen. The colors on this screen really do pop, and I understand fully. I used to have Samsungs before, so I get why people like AMOLED screens. It's a 120 Hz refresh rate. We have a 4800 mAh battery, an 80-watt fast charger. You heard me correctly, 80-watt fast charger. Android 12 with ColorOS 12 as of June 2022. Main camera is a 50 megapixel sensor. So this is the Hasselblad camera that everyone's been talking about, 50 megapixels. So now I want to speak to you about some of the features that I do like from both phones. Now, the Motorola G200 comes with a 33-watt power brick, which I thought was very good. The phone charging an hour and a bit, that's decent for me. However, the Oppo comes with an 80-watt power brick. I can get from 0 to 50% in 12 minutes. Now that's amazing. There are so many laptops out there now that actually don't come with a power brick that's even close to 80 watts in some cases. Those low powered laptops, right? So for a phone to have 80 watts, that's amazing. Now, again, these companies, what they've done, they've found a way to pull the heat away from the actual phone when charging. So the phone doesn't actually get that hot. It's the charger that actually gets all that heat, which makes the battery last longer, which makes the phone a lot safer. So I am very impressed with the 80-watt power brick. Well done, Oppo. Let me branch over now and go to the Motorola G200 features first. So some of the nice ones I like are the chop to get the flashlight. So let me just show that one more time. So I can chop to get my flashlight and I can chop to turn it off. This has become a very handy feature for me. I think the first company that did something similar was actually OnePlus. Early days of OnePlus, all you had to do when your phone screen was off, you drew a circle on the screen and the flashlight would open. Or if you drew a W or something along those lines, then the camera would open. And I really did like those features, so I'm really glad Motorola did something similar. Next, we have the flick for camera. So once I flick my phone like this in my pocket, the camera comes on. And if I flick again, it goes to selfie mode. I think this is a really good feature. Coupled with the chop for a flashlight, as soon as I take my phone out my pocket, I am almost ready to shoot. Or if I'm in the dark, I don't need to unlock my phone and swipe down the notification bar. I can simply take my phone out, chop, use the camera, use the flashlight, chop again, and I'm good to go. I really like those features. I do think one of the best things about Android is the amount of apps that they have. Now, if you're someone that doesn't need to have a fully fledged laptop or desktop, the Motorola G200 could be the phone that's right for you, even the G100 as well. It has a really good desktop mode. So if you plug your phone into your TV or into a USB-C dock, it turns it into a fully fledged PC. So there's this feature that they have called Ready For, Motorola Ready For. It turns your mobile phone into an actual desktop. Really wonderful feature. So another really nice thing I like about the Motorola is that it has this feature called portrait video. So just like we have portrait photos, now we have portrait video. Now, I love the bokeh effect, having the blurred background, having the person in the front or the thing in front being the main focus when everything else is being blurred out. I love it. So having portrait video for me is a nice touch. Now, it doesn't give you the best quality videos. However, it's nice to use. Lastly, we have the Motorola G200 being able to do 8K video at 24 frames per second. The processor can definitely handle it. Now, it does have 1080p, and the 1080p actually goes up to 960 hertz, I believe. So again, these phones are fully going to replace cameras in a few years. So that's why I am so upset that they've actually removed the memory card slot from this phone, because it was such a good feature. Now, moving over to the Oppo, we have what's known as O-Haptics. O-Haptics is their feature that tries to mimic, let's say, the PlayStation 5 controller coupled with the Nintendo Switch controller. So it gives you feedback based on what you're doing. Now, I actually haven't found a very good use of this. I've watched a few videos, a few demonstrations. I'll try to show that on screen as well, which actually makes use of O-Haptics, but it's not something that any developers currently have in use. Some phones already have that feature where you can make one section of the screen vibrate or one half of the phone vibrate in a particular way, but O-Haptics does this in a much better way, where it has, in my opinion, it feels like it has multiple vibration sensors around the phone. So, for example, let's say I'm watching a video, and there's something happening on the left side of the video. If that app or video or program was made with O-Haptic features, what would happen is only the left side of the phone would vibrate, and vice versa on the right as well. So if something were to happen on the right, that would happen on the right. It's a nice feature to have. I personally don't think it would be a selling point for me. It's not future-proofing me in any way, because that's not something I'm interested in. If it's something you're interested in, if you're someone who likes to game on your phone, I can see this feature becoming very, very nice, very useful. The Oppo has wireless charging, and it also has reverse wireless charging, so I can charge another device with my Oppo device. Very nice, handy feature if you like gimmicks. The wireless charging is a very nice feature. I think that's the killer feature there, the fact that it has wireless charging. But being able to charge another device, I think is overkill. But in any case, it's a feature that's there, and it will be handy for some people. And again, I am going to mention the fact that this phone comes with an 80-watt charger. You go from 0 to 50% in 12 minutes. That's unheard of. So the time it takes me to go downstairs and have a shower, 15-20 minutes, and come back upstairs, right? My phone could be more than 50% charged from 0, from complete nothing. When I used the G200 first, I thought the camera was amazing, but then I picked up the Oppo Find X5 and the Find X5 Pro, and they destroyed the Motorola, in my opinion. However, Oppo, I think, has focused a lot more on tuning their camera app to do a lot more than Motorola has. The Motorola camera app has definitely come a long way, but I think it does need a bit more work. It has gotten a lot faster, a lot more capable, but it needs to put in a bit more effort just to try and match with this phone. But again, I'm going to give my judgment at the end to explain why, even though the Oppo is vastly superior in camera performance, the Motorola might still make sense. Motorola needs to give better updates, in a sense that their updates are always late. The Motorola G100, which was the flagship for last year, still didn't get Android 12 a few months ago when I had it. That's very bad. Once they do that, I think they'll be able to compete a lot more, and people will trust them a lot more. Oppo, on the other hand, this came with Android 12, but it also came with ColorOS on top of it. I'm not a big fan of ColorOS. However, the fact that it comes with Android 12 and most of the security updates gives people a better impression of the company. I do think, though, that Oppo needs to actually release a version of the Find X or whatever phones they have, give people stock Android, but give people the apps that they want. So for example, for me, I would want stock Android, but I would want the Oppo Camera app and nothing else. I'll be good with that. In my opinion, the clear winner here in terms of overall feature set would probably be the Oppo, because it does have a 120Hz screen versus a 144. However, it's AMOLED. It does have a dual speaker setup, so it sounds a lot better. It does have a very, very, very impressive camera, even though the Moto does 8K at 24, which I would probably never use. 4K 60 is a sweet spot for me. The Oppo, in my opinion, wins in that regard. However, this is where the issue comes in. The Oppo Find X5 at the time of doing this video in June 2022 is £750. It doesn't sound like a lot, because when you look at companies like Samsung, when they come up with a phone for £1,200, £1,300, it doesn't sound too bad, which it isn't in most cases. However, the Motorola G200 in 2022 June cost £299. £299. Snapdragon 888 just the same 8GB of RAM. There is a 128GB version and a 256, 108 megapixel camera. Motorola is doing something wrong. And it's not the way they make phones, it's the way they market. I've been seeing them market the Motorola Edge 20 and Motorola Edge 30 a lot, which those cameras are very good. However, most people want speed, they want specs, and not everyone cares that much about camera. This phone is what Motorola should be marketing, the G200. For £300, you get the Snapdragon, you get the 8 gigs, you get the 128 gig storage, you get the best spec phone they have for less than the one that they sold last year. So the G100 now actually costs £350, whereas the G200, the upgrade, costs £50 less, albeit it doesn't have the USB-C cable and the dock that turns your phone into a PC. But I don't think most people need that. I think that's a very small number of people that would need it. And if you do need it, you buy one. They're like £5–10 on eBay, Amazon, and you're good to go. So I just did some basic math, and I could buy 2 Motorola G200s, I could buy 2 cases, 2 screen protectors, and potentially 2 portable power banks, and I still wouldn't get to £750, because again, £300 is an amazing price for this phone. But in any case, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and hopefully this one was informative enough. Peace.